What do you do when you've been misled by a business coach's empty promises and they failed to deliver, but you still haven't given up on your dream? Hi, welcome to another episode of Business Mindset Mastery. My name's Heather Gray. I'm a mindset and performance coach for business owners, leaders, and entrepreneurs. You can always find me over at choosetohaveitall.com. And today's listener is in a familiar struggle. I think many listeners understand and have been there. The time when you believe that someone can help you build your business to the next level, teach you the things you need to know, and then they fail to deliver. We have entirely too many people in the online business space in particular who are making money selling products and services, teaching other people how to make money. And they don't always know what they're talking about. They haven't always gotten their reps in terms of building their own businesses to the income levels that they're selling, and they end up delivering a pile of empty promises. And then when you're in that situation, you still want the dream, but you don't trust anybody's ability to deliver. That's where today's listener finds herself. Let's dive into her question. I've been bamboozled by a business coach. That's a good introduction there. And now I don't know what to do next. For the past 12 years, I've been teaching yoga in local gyms. I have a bit of a cult following, if I'm going to be honest. There's a 3 to 4 week wait list for each of my classes on average. Because I felt guilty for not being able to serve larger numbers, there's only one of me after all, I started posting videos online so people could have a work from home option. I didn't know what I was doing really, but found another online fitness coach who told me that she had helped other fitness professionals turn their online followings into paid clients. I invested a few $1,000s in her coaching and learned about Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find me on all 3 platforms. After 6 months of coaching with her, I hadn't made any money, so I quit working with her and let the idea go. She never owned responsibility, Heather, for failing me, and now I only see other online fitness coaches selling the same crap dream with the same empty promises. I have no idea who's for real and who's out just to make a quick buck. However, I'm in this push-pull still. Say that 5 times fast. If I offer online content, I want to be paid for it, but I don't know what I'm doing. At the same time, I feel like I've hit a wall in terms of my income potential because I can't duplicate myself in my local business. I don't know what people like me do in these situations. To be honest, I don't think I have a mindset problem. I'm clear on what I want and I'm committed to doing it, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing or how I'm supposed to be doing it. Wondering what you think my first steps could or should be. Thanks. Okay. So first of all, your struggle is so familiar. So many people, particularly in the online space, are, as you state, being bamboozled by business coaches who are making money, teaching other people how to make money. It's a really sort of just dirty black cloud in the online business space. And I do think at some point in time, this whole situation is going to, blow up on people's faces and we're going to see a break in this. But I definitely can see how you can become victim to this and fall prey to this. So the first thing that I want to sort of encourage you to think about and encourage you to do is I get that you tell me you hired a coach, that you got yourself on the platforms. The first thing you need to be honest with yourself about is, did you really follow every step your business coach told you to take and then realize that it wasn't working? Or did you only follow the steps that were comfortable, that you wanted to take, that felt easy enough to take, that didn't take you so far outside your comfort zone that you got uncomfortable? I do know that there's crooks out there who are teaching nonsense things, but I also know there's clients out there blaming business coaches for not doing the work that they were supposed to do. It goes both ways, and in order to know where you're at in this picture, you have to do the gut check. You have to know and be crystal clear and honest with yourself about how you showed up for yourself and how you didn't show up for yourself. And if you do that inventory and you realize, nope, I followed every step, I did everything, I took the chance, I got outside my comfort zone, and it still didn't happen for me, then you can feel good and confident and knowing your judgment. You made a bad call with your business coach with the information you had on hand, but you can trust yourself to know when you call a bad deal a bad deal. That's what you get from doing that gut check and taking that personal inventory, to know you really can trust yourself and your judgment. Because what's in this letter also, in addition to not knowing what's next, is that you don't trust your ability to know who's a crook and who's legit. So you're opting out of not asking, either, not looking either, but still trying to scramble and figure out a way to build an online business or, to somehow monetize your online following. But the first step is you got to look back and make sure that there's nothing there that you need to own, take responsibility for, or hold yourself accountable for. And now that you know what you've learned, and now that you know the steps you have taken, you get to decide how you look and how you talk to people next, how you're going to build this business next. You may decide, for example, that you don't believe in this, like selling online classes or selling online workshops or whatever it was. I'm not sure what, you don't say specifically enough, like what you were expecting to get money from. If you were expecting ad revenue, for example, from your video content on YouTube, and that's how you expected to get paid, or if you were going to be offering online group training classes and you thought that if you offered, these insights to how you work and the way you run your classes, if people would be signing up for online memberships or something like that. I'm not quite sure what your business model was, but what I would get really clear with yourself on is, what is the business model you want for yourself now? Because there are two different kinds of business models out there, particularly in the online fitness space. One are, the apps and the individuals who are selling online live streaming courses. One are, people who are offering online classes, like Fitness Blender comes to mind for me. They run their workshop, they run their workouts, and they get paid largely through the ad revenue that comes on YouTube. If you wanted sort of to offer courses and beginning yoga, like there's so many different avenues for this. And if you weren't clear on what you wanted to create, and the only thing you created for yourself was visibility and exposure, people might not have known what they could buy from you. The next thing I want you to do is do some research into the fitness people who seem legit, who seem to be successful, who seem to have figured out the secret sauce, and I would encourage you to reach out to them to see how they learned it. Don't go looking for business coaches who teach online fitness professionals how to build businesses. That didn't work for you. But what can work for you is for you to check in and start to network with the other people who seem to have businesses that run in the way you want your business to someday run, and then ask them how they did it. And you might get a referral to their own business coach. You might learn about the person who helped them do that. But that'll be a good way to kind of get some recon on it, to sort of get some information about what your options are, how to put yourself out there. And you can, by the way, also learn for yourself through Googling and researching how people gain higher followings on YouTube, on Pinterest, etc. And each of those social media platforms are going to have their own sort of experts in it who are going to teach you that. And before you invest, you can engage in people's free content, try and take action on their free content, on the tips and tricks that they're offering, and see if they work for you. That is another way to find out if people are legit, by checking out what they're doing for free, implementing it into your business, and seeing what kind of results you get for yourself. The next thing that you want to do is look at people who don't have fitness businesses, but look at other people who seem to have successful online businesses and talk to them about how they did it and how they created it for themselves. Because I think what happened for you is you got so distracted by the niche. You got so distracted by the story that I need somebody else who understands the fitness industry to teach me When in actuality, you really need somebody who understands the online business industry and what you need to do to get yourself established, what it takes to establish yourself, and look at the steps and strategies people are implementing, implement them for yourself and see if they work. But when you don't know something, I wouldn't rush to just hire the next person or find the next thing. I would go back to the drawing board. I would go back and research to see how other people are doing it and how you can come to invest in somebody who is also building the kind of business or has a documented history of helping other people build the kind of business you're planning for yourself. Where I'm reading this in your letter is you just assume that the get out of jail free card was somebody else who's a fitness coach. I think what you're learning from this is you need a business savvy person to lead you. And sometimes that comes in the form of group training programs. Sometimes that comes in the course of one-on-one offerings. You can find that by searching other podcasts on YouTube, especially. Again, I work out regularly to Fitness Blender. As an entrepreneur myself, I am inspired by their entrepreneurial journey. I'll include links to the show notes of some of their articles of interviews they've done and how they've talked about how they built their business, but they offer their content for free and get paid through YouTube ads. There's other people who offer their online fitness classes and they get paid on Patreon, which is, viewers, when they get value out of something they watch, can submit payment or, a donation, if you will, to the content creator. There's so many different ways of doing it. Now that you know what it is that's missing from this, what you don't know, the information you need, you can do a more informed search on how to find that. I know that it sucks to be bamboozled. I know that it feels like you've been taken for granted and now everyone is just going to try to sell you a piece of crap. But if you do your research, if you do this with curiosity and lead with a desire to expand your business and to expand your reach, and you know that it's going to take a while, that you're in it for the long game, you have the time to research this. You have the time to find the path that works best for you. But simply because you made one bad decision that turned into one bad investment, I don't think you walk away from this dream. I don't think you say, well, I just can't trust anybody, so I'm going to walk away from this, because I think there's documented examples of people who have made a successful living out of doing what you're doing. So that's where you want to find yourself. You want to forgive yourself too for making a bad decision in the first place, for not knowing what you didn't know, and making a promise going forward that you're going to get testimonials, you're going to talk to previous clients, you're going to get a sense of how the person works before you make another financial investment yourself. That's the promise you can make to yourself for how you can go forward. Don't let this immobilize you. That is the best advice I can give you, because I can't tell you how many people just up and stop as soon as they've realized that they made an investment that didn't move the needle in their business. It's super discouraging and it's super frustrating, but this is just one step on your journey. You're going to learn what all the other steps are. You just need to forgive yourself, get clear on what it is you want, look at what you don't know, and kind of put your nose to the grindstone and do the research to find the people who can take you to that next step and take you to that next level. I debated a little bit whether or not I was going to give you a referral, whether or not I was going to, send somebody your way. But the reality is I don't know enough about your industry to know who a good referral would be, and I don't want to contribute to the noise. But I do trust your ability, knowing the kind of yoga you do, knowing your level of experience, that you can figure this out yourself. However, because I can't help myself, I'm going to give you one idea. And I want you to take it with the whole salt shaker of salt. And I'm going to lead with, I might not know what I'm talking about, because you just heard me say that, right? But what I'm looking at from your business model is that you are really good at this yoga thing. You are booking out your classes 4 weeks ahead of time. That speaks to your talent. It speaks to your point of view, why people want you and not somebody else. I would encourage you to do an evaluation of how you teach yoga. Why are you so darn good at this? What is setting you apart in your local business? What is making you different? What is making you worth a 4-week wait? I want you to look at this honestly. I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I'm not saying you just got lucky. What I'm saying here is you are sitting on a potential gold mine from my perspective. Because if you can't see more people, but you can dial in on how you work with these people, what it is you do, what makes your approach differently, you could potentially teach other yoga instructors how to do what you do. You could license and create a brand around your form of teaching yoga to other yoga instructors that need to fill out their gyms and their classes and be booked out for 4 weeks ahead of time. What makes you different is what makes you great. And this might not be about teaching more people. This might be about teaching new people how to teach. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know how half that stuff works, but the answer remains the same. Be curious. Do some research. See how other people have branded their point of view when it comes to fitness. Look at the Tony Hortons and Shaun T's of Beachbody and look at what they're doing. Or take another track and look at somebody like my personal hero, Brene Brown. She teaches other therapists how to teach the daring way. She licenses her point of view and teaches therapists how to implement her strategies for their clients. You might have something here. As I hear myself say it out loud, I'm feeling more and more sure of it. So look at what makes you different and then start to do some research on how you might be able to develop your own fitness brand, unique to you, unique to your point of view, that teaches other yoga instructors, no matter where they are, how to do your form of yoga, how to run your class with your style. You could have people fly to you locally. You could do this online. There's so many different options, so many different models, but that is another idea that I didn't see you mention here in your letter that I think you might be potentially sitting on, because that's the key to this, right? Is to not box ourselves in, to not sort of have these limited worldviews on how we can work and what it looks like. And you only know one method and one way from the one business coach you hired. So I would look at all the different ways people are running their fitness businesses and see if there might be something in there for you. But the evidence in your letter here says there's more. There's potential for more, and I'm glad that you don't have a mindset problem and you're not hesitating to reach out for it, because I want you to be able to find it. Good luck with this. I'm so sorry you feel like you got screwed the first time around, but I do think you have all the tools necessary to get yourself on a better path going forward. Thanks so much for your question. The best questions always make for the best pod. If anyone has a question and wants my 2 cents on their problem, don't hesitate to write in. You can always find me over at heather@choosetohaveitall.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye for now.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.